What do you like me to do for 10 tokens?
Well, speaking of 10 tokens, we are live. What is going on, everyone? It is the return of Brick City Blockade with a live podcast. We will be talking Mandalorian celebration that's coming up in April. I didn't realize it was so soon.
I know.
And a little bit of history with Brick City Blockade. For those who aren't familiar with Brick City Blockade, Robin and Sean are the founders of the podcast. So
The
Robin,
founding fathers.
Yes,
The founding fathers.
I will put you up at the top.
I think Robin is the founding father. He mentioned to me first, so.
Oh, no, that's true.
So if you guys want to just give a brief history on Brick City Blockade and where you guys, or Robin, where you came up with the idea for it and stuff like that.
So I was dirt poor. No, I'm just kidding.
We were all dirt poor.
I know. So,
living in poor Exeter at the time.
I know, right? So
Poor Exeter.
Poor Exeter. So anyway, Sean and I had been friends all throughout school. I've known Sean since the 5th grade.
I'm sorry, Sean.
School year.
Yes.
Really?
Thanks, Andrew.
It's
Me too.
And so we kind of disconnected after high school for a little bit because we were trying to figure out, Sean was going to figure out Great Bay Community College. I had started college. Mm-hmm. And then at one point, everything happened in 2012 with the acquisition of Lucasfilm by Disney. And suddenly we were going to get a bunch of Star Wars movies. So it was like, oh, cool. Okay, I remember these films growing up. I remember how awesome Star Wars was as a kid. And so Sean and I reconnected at Great Bay Community College. And I came right up to you. I think we were in the lobby of Great Bay Community College. I said, hey, I'm thinking about doing this podcast with all the upcoming Star Wars movies and just to talk about it. And of course, Sean was like, yeah, I'm sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, I was 100% down to do it. And that's where we kind of started podcasting, right in actually Robin's old house in the basement.
That's right. So a lot of people don't know this, but
I don't know if you could find those episodes all because you got to re-release them for some of the newcomers.
It'll be like the Clone Wars, the last missions, like
it literally is
final episodes that they did before the last season.
It's terrible because you can hear like the dryers and the washers from the laundry room going in the background.
Whoa. I was sitting on a workout bench.
You're getting super swole.
It's like right after your dad was working out.
So it was the definition of cringy, if you want to call it that.
We're still pretty cringe.
It hasn't changed whatsoever. But that's the origins of it. In Brick City, everybody always wonders, like, what are you guys, a freaking Lego podcast? What are you talking about? Brick City Blockade. And the origins of the name itself is that Exeter, back in the 1880s, was known as the Brick City because it was the largest exporter of bricks to the entire New England region. And so I was like, okay, we're doing this podcast out of Exeter, and I didn't want anything that would infringe on Lucasfilm or Star Wars itself. And I remembered back to Phantom Menace, and there's the blockade, and the one line. So the Brick City Blockade came together.
It was a good alliteration.
Right? Exactly. So it was so much fun getting it going, and, it grew to the podcast network. And I wouldn't be, I don't want to sugarcoat anything. We know who's here. We know who's not listening anymore.
That was a whole learning curve.
We moved it into the podcast network. Things got crazy. And I would just recommend to anybody who starts a podcast,
don't make it a network.
Don't make it a network. Keep it simple. Have the people you truly enjoy talking about Star Wars and fandom with you the entire time, because sometimes you want something to branch out and you want it to become something bigger than you imagined it to be.
Yeah.
But it can get out of control pretty.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
too
it
crazy at
was
the
a
time.
whole like saga.
Like I couldn't comprehend all the shows we had. All like we had like
Yeah, we had
eight
like
shows
yeah, I was
at
about
the
to say we
time.
had
I'm
like
I couldn't keep it up.
I mean, it even got to the point where I hired a young kid from Boston University to help me, who was getting into broadcasting and everything with editing episodes.
oh, that poor kid.
I know, the poor kid. I mean, he got credit in like 4 or 5 different, things.
And then you forgot about him.
I forgot to feed him. No. I left him in the basement. No.
I was about to say, like
he's doing it all better than us, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's probably doing better than all of us right now. And but yeah, so that's kind of where it went. And I'm so happy that we are returning it back to its roots. Just the one-to-one to having special guests on, to group chats about what's going on, because that's where it all started.
And I'm loving also, this is new for the Brick City Blockade, coming back with on StreamYard as well.
Yeah.
Instead of doing YouTube Live and Zoom, we didn't really do Zoom as much.
No, Zoom was kind of towards where we started to take more breaks.
Yeah.
With Brick City, I noticed, like Zoom, like we would record, but then Robin would be like, yeah, I'm not putting it up.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Or we'd play Dungeons and Dragons instead.
Yeah, well.
True.
Which we still need to finish that campaign, by the way.
I know we do. Shaylin has to jump in on the next one, too. That's what's going to happen.
Except we would have to make it, like, in person, like last time.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, like at the cabin.
Yeah.
At the cabin. I like that.
Condo, cabin, same thing.
Cabin in the woods.
The question is, are we going to be as loaded as we were?
Oh, my goodness. I know. There was so many Mike's Hard Lemonades. So many.
Yes.
We went through at least, because we had Mike's, we had Smirnoff, we had the Jack Daniels drinks too.
Oh, yeah.
And between the three of us, Renee was babysitting us.
It's true.
She didn't drink. We did.
This was probably about
2 years ago. 2.5 years ago. 2 years ago.
2021, like a year into COVID.
Year and a half.
Probably about a month before our date. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you weren't. It wasn't as bad.
No. We just drank a lot, had a Nerf gun war.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was Renee and I versus you two.
Yeah. And the best thing was, after the Nerf gun war, we were actually sober.
I know, we worked it all off.
Yeah.
I did throw up that night as well.
Yeah.
I'm like,
because you had a mix of alcohol, cake, chicken, and a bunch of other food.
What a good combo.
No, I'm like,
I will be in the kitchen like with tea.
Yeah.
After 10 minutes after that, I'm like, I'm good. I'm all good.
Yeah, you go upstairs, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go to bed. Yeah, and then like 10 minutes later, you come back down. And you're like, yeah, I threw up. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, just letting you know, don't check out the bathroom upstairs. There's throw up in the Nerf dart inside of it.
Nerf dart there before or
after? He was shooting at it. He's like, God damn it.
Good times.
Oh, man.
Well, welcome back, guys.
We also have
Mystery. Good time.
in the chat. How's it going, Mystery? We also have
Hi,
Tony from the Steelbook.
Tony moves.
Tony, hey.
We also got Laren. He says, "Hey Andrew, Robin, Shaylin, and Sean. Hope you're all doing well. Hey Chris and Tony." And then Tony said, "Hey Laren." Yeah, that whole period where it was the Brick City Blockade podcast network. One, that's a long title to say.
Ooh, yeah.
I still have
Yeah.
trouble saying it.
Yeah.
But
Especially when we were doing our intros
yeah,
back then. I'm
it,
like,
it felt like it got longer and longer.
it was like a minute long intro instead of
Yeah.
like it should be like a 15-second intro with that long ass name.
It was like a very classic Northern English family last name.
Yeah.
It was like the Brick City Blockade Network, Charles McRation III. Like
it's like my dad's full name. He's Peter John Paul Garish. Like
wow, he's like all the Beatles in one.
Yeah. He's just missing two others.
You know your Beatles history. I'm not taking you to trivia.
Shots
Wait, what happened with trivia?
She's not taking me to trivia.
Yeah, that's like a trivia question. You should know that.
We all should we should all go do trivia.
Yeah,
That's a tangent.
That would be fun.
That's a great tip.
Well, speaking of trivia, there is Hux, who does a movie trivia show similar to the Schmodown.
Yeah.
Which myself, Dave, and Tony were on that. It was a lot of fun.
Ooh.
But I lost. But that was because I kept throwing shade in my answers. Like it would be, we would only get like an image and we'd have to guess what that movie was.
Okay.
And it was one from an image from The Fly, the Jeff Goldblum one.
Yeah.
And it's just a close up of The Fly. So I'm like, I got no idea. I've seen The Fly once. So I just put down Dave's mom, and that was about it.
Throwing shade. That was it the entire time.
So was it Dave's mom for every answer then?
Yes.
Lauren, are you sure you want? Are you sure you want to go to a Brick City party? Are you sure you want to do that?
I mean, we haven't really had a Brick City Blockade party.
No, we really haven't. Thing.
Yeah, talking about having a rage.
I was gonna say, when was our 10? We missed our 10-year. Right? 10-year. When we got to do our next
2026 will be 10 years.
10 years.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Oh, that's great. That's the name of this episode. Brick City Blockade returns. Jesus.
Jesus returns.
How's it going, Joe?
Hey, Joe.
Thanks for popping in to say hi. But yeah, it's great that we haven't changed at all since we've started. Well, I wasn't there when it started, but once I got brought in.
Yeah, and we never changed, Robert.
No.
Nope. Sean's maybe trimmed his beard a few times. Maybe
a couple of times.
You
maybe got a haircut.
Maybe got a haircut. Gray hair. Who knows?
Definitely more gray hairs.
I was about to say I'm definitely getting gray hairs up here now. So
yeah.
What
are you doing?
Well, I was about to say, Robin, you're a politician. You're definitely going gray soon.
Very soon. Very soon.
But yeah, I started as a fan of Brick City Blockade, and then I became friends with Robin, and we were talking about, I think, The Last Jedi coming up.
Yes.
And it was funny because I saw it. I didn't mind it at first. Now it's a completely different story of how I feel about Last Jedi. But I just remember that conversation where you're like, I don't know how I feel about it. Let's talk about it. And then we had the Make a Jump episode on Facebook Live when we used to do it as a Facebook Live show. And I remember that episode because I called it and said, Rey is a Palpatine. And what happened in Rise of Skywalker? I should have put money on it as a thing.
You should have. Should have at the time.
I would have won like 25 cents.
I know somehow. That's still gets
somehow Palpatine.
Here, 25 cents right here.
Thanks.
25 cents. Yeah, no, I mean, I remember those days, and you know, it was so cool because I think the one thing, Andrew, and this is a testament to you and the amount of growth that you've had. as a podcaster and somebody who's done videos. I mean, you look at that first Make the Jump episode on Facebook, right? That we did together.
Yeah.
And now you look at yourself now with the amount of subscribers you have on YouTube, doing the steelbook hunts and everything. I mean, the amount of progression is just incredible.
Yeah.
It really is.
I can't thank you guys enough for helping me build my confidence up for that. Because if it wasn't for the podcast or you guys, I definitely wouldn't have come out of my shell and done videos like I do now. And I wouldn't be at 1.03K subscribers now. If it wasn't for you guys, or even Dave and the Steelbook crew, like,
see, that's the thing, is that the minute you start somewhere and you find your community and you find the people that you want to interact with, suddenly these other people come along and say, "Hey, you know, I see that you like this. I like this too. Let's work together. Let's collaborate on these things." Like you and Dave, right? You and Dave. I remember when you guys first started going on Steelbook dates, essentially.
Yeah.
You guys went to Best Buy and Walmart, and I first started watching your videos, and I was like, "There's a dynamic there, like right there's definitely a thing with Durant Cinema, and then what the direction you were going, and it made sense."
I mean, if you look at our
watching the energy in the videos is crazy. The energy to
if you watch the last video, the banter between like myself and Dave and even Tony,
it's incredible.
just. And people are like, "Oh, do you script yourself?" It's like, no, it's right off the top of my head with everything. So, and
that is
Sean have known she was injured. I don't think they knew that soon. Wait, what?
The writers.
Oh,
there's no
you're not wrong on that.
they figured out the end point and then they backfilled the whole.
Yeah. I mean, at least they didn't make Ray and Kylo like cousins, because then that's like Alabama territory, and we don't go there.
Yeah,
but then again, Luke and Leia did kind of kiss.
Let's see, Tony. Oh
no, Tony, you can't. You're stuck with this Andrew now.
Oh man! All right, Andrew, what we got for topics here tonight?
The first topic is Star Wars Celebration, which is actually April 7th to the 10th. So it's a 4-day convention now, when it used to just be 3. I'm curious on it because I'm not sure what they're gonna really do for Celebration.
There's rumors that they're not showing it live, doing live streams.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's the only in-person.
Yeah, because it's also gonna alienate the fandom even more than it already is. But
I'm just wondering, is the reasoning behind, and I don't think you're wrong in that, Sean, because I had heard stuff on Twitter about them not doing live streams for this upcoming celebration, at least for
we'll do a live stream.
I mean, we'll cover it instead, because we could basically do a live stream just based on what we're seeing on Twitter, right? Because half the time there are leaked videos that come through from one of the halls.
That's the thing. Do they not want?
Are they going to show something at Celebration this year that they're so worried about either the live stream catching or somebody grabbing from?
But that's the thing.
So are they going to do like live, not live streams, but once the people see it at the Celebration, like maybe like 30 minutes later or an hour later, it's going to come up on YouTube or something like that, like for trailers there.
Well, in the last one, the Mandalorian teaser was leaked. So like it might be a reasoning why they're like, well, now you've ruined it, you can't have anything. So
I can understand that, but it's also like shooting yourself in the foot, because
you're right.
Because one, we can't really go over to London or anything like that.
I mean,
I mean, we could.
We can.
We can.
Does Scott want to pay for our tickets?
Wait, you got the big politician money. You can pay for it.
Hey, whoa. Not yet. No,
we'll chip in.
So this is the thing too, is that if we're getting 4 days of stuff, how many Star Wars projects have been freaking canceled, right? Like how many movies have been canceled and things that really it's just an Acolyte. That's the only 2 things I can think about that would be shown.
Well, they're probably going to show the Ahsoka trailer because they still not. We didn't even know when that was supposed to come out last.
It's supposed to come out this year.
Yeah,
but we don't know when.
I'm sure we're going to get something that in during Celebration, probably with the trailer.
Yeah. I mean, they might show something.
Because they've been quiet with it.
If that's all they have planned, though, so are we going to run into? Because Scott went to Celebration London the first time, and he said that's all they got was the Saturday Rogue One panel. He's right. That's all we really got. There wasn't anything else that kind of followed through, maybe other than some of the Star Wars Rebels stuff, right? So are we going to run into another Celebration Europe situation where we get an Ahsoka teaser, and they're like, hey, guess what? Wait till D23 for the Acolyte trailer. And it's
hopefully that's not the case because, again, it's not going to make people want to go to the next year if they just get one thing on Saturday.
So that's what I saw was that we're going to have it this year, but there's not going to be a 2024. They're going to skip a year.
Okay. Which, I mean, they probably should have just skipped this year, to be completely honest.
I absolutely agree.
Because they canceled Rogue Squadron, or it's on the shelf.
Yeah. No, it's
sorry, Shaylin, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay. I'm just saying it's an opportunity for them to sell tickets to the event. The event's going to be expensive. It's into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like $300 a day or something for the
or
something ridiculous like that per person. It's insane. It's like more than the Disney World.
I didn't even pay that much for my Silver Scream Con ticket.
I know.
I'm pulling that number out of my butt, but like it's not cheap, and it's an opportunity for them to make that money. And I don't know that executives aren't going to turn that down because people will come even if you only show them one crappy trailer.
Yeah.
They're going to come for the merch. They're going to come for the panels. They're going to come for the community. You know, they're going to spend the money. They're going to be disappointed. They're going to be disappointed by the lack of announcements, but they're still going to come as if it's a Comic-Con, you know?
Yeah.
It's like a very 4 days. Specific fandom Comic-Con.
Yeah, that's the thing. What if they only have something for 1 day? What else are they going to do?
It's
probably trot out a lot of the actors and writers and etc.
Yeah, because I know Ewan McGregor is going to be there Saturday and Sunday, as well as Hayden Christensen. So
interesting.
If anything, they'll definitely have an Ahsoka panel because with Hayden being there, because he's already confirmed for the Ahsoka series.
Correct.
Correct.
I just don't want us to run into the pattern again, right? So here we are with basically, Sean remembers this, when we were starting the podcast early on, and it was like, where's the Rogue One trailer?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the Rogue One trailer? We've been waiting. Where's the news?
Did we get one that year, or was it just the
did? But it was like 3 months out before the film released.
That was during. Was it during the Super Bowl?
It was during the Super Bowl in February, and then the film came out in May.
Rogue One didn't come out in May.
I thought it came out in the summer.
No, it came out in December.
So then we had.
You're not a true Star Wars fan.
Watched it too many times, and it's kind of
that's true. No, we got Solo during the summer.
Yeah,
you get Rogue One.
Oh, so it was a Solo story we saw for the Super Bowl.
But Solo was the same thing as Rogue One, right? We got a delayed trailer.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so if we're going to be moving forward with Celebration and releasing news during Celebration, and yes, I hear what you're saying of the whole, we're going to sell tickets. We're going to get as many people in there. We're going to have panels about Obi-Wan. We're going to have panels about The Mandalorian this upcoming season. We're going to have panels about The Bad Batch.
Book signings,
autographs, all that, right? But the problem is at the end of the day, the one thing that's going to stand out is we didn't get trailers, right?
There was no news.
There was no news. And what's really frustrating, and maybe it will change with Bob Iger back in, Bob is now coming in after Patty Jenkins and all these other people can't make a film.
Yeah.
Maybe Bob comes out during Celebration and says, guess what? We're greenlighting all these.
Since there's probably not going to be I'm guessing there's not many trailers. That's why they're not doing the live stream.
That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe, but there's still content they could still do for the live stream, though.
I feel like if they're gonna make it more of a con, like a convention, than a news event, they need to redo the marketing a little bit and say this is a fandom event, this is a community event, this isn't like a big news thing,
like Fan Expo.
Yeah, because people are gonna be more disappointed or people are going to be less disappointed. They're still going to be disappointed because this has been proven to be a big news day for the fandom. But less if you come out and say, hey, this is why we're doing this. We're doing this because the community has shown such and such a demand for this type of event,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, I think D23 is becoming bigger than Star Wars Celebration.
Over
the past few years, it has been.
Yeah.
Which concerns me for getting Star Wars content during Celebration versus D23.
Yeah.
It's true, because then Star Wars ends up getting flushed in with all the other Pixar and all the other stuff, right? So what ends up happening is Star Wars doesn't get that spotlight, and Lucasfilm doesn't get that spotlight of, hey, here's what we're putting out there to the fandom. I kind of noticed that during this last Celebration when we got Indiana Jones stuff.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Celebration.
Yeah.
I mean, it is Lucasfilm, so I
get it.
Kind of understand that.
But it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
And not Lucasfilm Celebration.
Yeah,
that's right. D23 stuff. That's where that needs to be. But I think Sean,
it's not the Harrison Ford Celebration.
That's what Saturday ended up becoming. That Celebration ended up becoming. Here's an Indiana Jones trailer for people who are waving lightsabers.
I was about to say, we didn't even get that trailer until
recently.
Months later.
Yeah, they got the sneak peek and they turned off the live stream and they did all that for those people there. But
I think they replayed one of the publicly released trailers during that, like back to back.
But I think the one thing that we will see, if we're talking about what we're going to see out of Celebration specifically, we're definitely going to get an Ahsoka panel. That is for sure. We'll get a trailer from that, and we'll definitely get something about Acolyte.
Because that's the next thing coming out next year, I think.
Yeah.
Is Acolyte, and we still don't know much about it, except it's at the very end of the High Republic, and it might be a rumor, but it's following Darth Plagueis' first apprentice. But I'm not 100% sure if that has actually been confirmed to be legit or not.
Wow.
Is that going to be a live action thing? Or
yeah, it's live action.
I know, just because so much of the prequel stuff and the Clone Wars stuff and the the what's it, the Star Wars
Rebels.
No, the more recent one that came out, there was an anthology series. You watched? No, not Visions.
Legends. Or not Legends.
It wasn't Legends.
Yeah, it's we got it in with Qui-Gon.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Tales of the Jedi.
Tales of the Jedi.
Thank you. All that stuff has been animated, so that's why I was.
I can understand why they went the animation route for Tales of the Jedi, especially with them doing a story with Count Dooku, because that's such a hard role they would have to recast that it would have it's just easier to animate it.
And we already had the voice actor from Dooku from Clone Wars, so it worked out. Yeah,
and those episodes are probably my favorite things in Star Wars.
Oh, I wasn't complaining. I was just saying that.
No, I'm just saying in general.
It seems like it would fit into that animated. But it's nice to see that they're taking that kind of that timeline into the live action. Or that piece of the timeline.
That's why I loved Visions, because it was such a different art style to it.
Yeah, I never.
Because I wanted to see more of that, like that. Like,
well, they are doing a season 2 of Visions.
Oh, that's right.
So they might have something about that. Probably not Saturday, but
no, that's. I think
they're gonna do reveal a second season of Andor. That's what I think they're gonna do.
Oh,
well, it's
been really
they could have a trailer
highly rated.
I still haven't finished Andor yet. I'm behind on my Star Wars stuff. I haven't even watched Bad Batch yet.
I haven't watched Bad Batch.
I have.
I've heard it. I've heard Bad Batch isn't as good as the first season. So,
Andrew, when you texted me in chat yesterday about The Mandalorian, I totally forgot it was coming out yesterday.
Well, that's the thing.
I watched it, but then I just totally forgot about it.
They didn't do a whole lot of marketing for Mandalorian.
Nope.
Maybe because of the backlash with Book of Boba Fett, which again I didn't mind Book of Boba Fett.
I enjoyed it. I mean,
it was enjoyable.
Yeah. It did what it needed to do.
It was held up in the middle of a big old Mandalorian arc, but
yeah,
it's true. It's very true. Anyway, how about that Mandalorian episode, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're gonna segue into that.
Yeah, you got it back ready to go.
Yeah,
let's keep that train rolling.
I really enjoyed the episode. The beginning of it threw me for a loop because I thought it was Din's ceremony. But it's like, no, by the way, this is some other random kid that's getting his helmet.
That's right. Yeah.
Big spoiler alert, by the way. Like,
watch spoilers.
Spoilers. Forward, all spoilers.
There'll be a little TIE fighter noise that I'll put in.
Yes.
In the audio version. Spoilers.
Yeah, I like that it didn't go too heavy with the action and stuff. Because it's going to be an action-filled season, so I like that it gave this episode room to breathe. Of course, he's going to kill people.
The dog fight scene.
It was great.
Oh my god!
That was straight out of the prequels, and I loved it.
Oh yeah,
it really was.
Well, I was going to say,
it was very Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Yes, very.
And he did spinning, and it was a good trick.
It's a good trick.
I think
that was just Becker rolling in the water.
I know Dave Filoni didn't direct the episode, but I have a feeling he has something to do with that space.
Yeah,
dogfight scene.
He produced the episode.
He did.
Come on, don't be a wise ass.
But to shift to Dave Filoni real quick. Did you guys hear what Freddie Prinze Jr. said about Rogue One and stuff?
No.
Dave Filoni directed the Darth Vader scene at the end.
Oh, I'm not surprised by that.
And he actually recast that Darth Vader because he's like, hey, why is Darth Vader Italian? Because earlier he's moving his hands way too much.
It's very true.
And yeah, he directed that entire sequence.
Is Tony going to be upset that you just mentioned that? Is Tony going to be?
he might. I don't know.
Does he like a mean capicola?
I mean, he wasn't exactly too angry with my comment about Italians in my last video, if you guys saw.
Oh, that's right.
But I did say that Italians love anal, and he didn't say anything about it.
No! Oh no!
He neither confirmed nor denied my claim. So
I saw the stink eye that Tony gave you.
Let's slap that explicit label on here.
You have it already. It's already on.
I know.
So bad. I did not know that though. I didn't know that was one of the reasons behind the switchover. That's pretty cool.
Well, why do you think the last sequence with Darth Vader is the best thing in that movie?
Makes sense
because Dave Filoni is a motherfucking genius.
He is. Speaking of Dave Filoni and Rebels, we got space whales.
We did get space.
Yeah.
Oh, that was.
I was doing literally the Leonardo DiCaprio meme doing.
He said, "Nah, you're good with the Italian comment."
He gave you clearance.
Has Shayla seen Rebels yet?
No, she hasn't.
She doesn't get why we care about the space whales.
They're cool though.
They are cool.
They have to be cool.
Purgles are awesome. They really are.
I mean,
but there's a bigger meaning to it.
There's
no spoilers, Andrew. Don't spoil it for Shayla.
I tried my hardest not to.
No, it's fine. I'm working my way through Clone Wars still.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, that was so cool, and I was like, no way. No way.
And the fact that it was Grogu that saw him, made it even better.
I think he sensed them before he saw them.
Yeah, because they're definitely force sensitive.
Oh, for sure.
You don't see Mando looking out, seeing the space.
Well, he was taking a nap.
Yeah.
he was taking a dad nap.
I've never seen someone taking a nap during that sequence going through hyperspace like that.
I mean, that would probably be the best time to take a nap.
Mando flying through hyperspace is every dad watching golf on Sunday.
Absolutely.
And the kid comes up, Dad.
It's definitely my dad.
and Grogu's just a dog coming up on his lap.
Yep.
Pretty much. No, that was so cool. It was so foreshadowing, and
especially with the Ahsoka coming up too.
That was so true. Anyway, I was trying to think. We went back to Navarro too.
We did, and it actually looks a little bit like Batu a little bit.
Did you notice?
I almost made that comment. I definitely noticed that. Yeah, for sure.
I like how Josh is spinning around.
He's doing the.
Oh, he's doing the Grogu.
Yes. I was hoping you could catch that.
No, it was absolutely Batu. It was absolutely Batu.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
A little less humid and Republican than Batu, but anyway.
Just a little bit.
There's Batu in California too.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, technically,
it's snowing in California right now.
Technically, if Navarro does join the New Republic, would they technically be Republicans?
The New Republic. For democracy. No, just
all right, Anakin, calm down.
I mean, you can only design so many alien worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It could be like a moon, like close to Batu or something like
Reef
that.
did a hell of a job taking care of that place.
Oh, absolutely. He has some pretty good drip too.
Yeah, you noticed that?
with the little droid.
Yeah, I was like, "What's that clanging going down the stairs?"
how long was that time gap though? Like
that's a good question.
It's probably been a couple years.
What I think Dave Filoni, or at least Jon Favreau, said between Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2 is like at least 2-ish years. So in between that and Book of Boba, I think might be at least a year and a half or so.
Okay,
it's got to be something like that, like a while.
That would make sense. I mean, the IG-88 IG-11 statue was
that was straight out of Terminator, though.
You're right.
Like with really the IG unit just like crawling after.
That was a really cool scene, though.
It was, but it also shows like how indestructible the IG units are.
You just kind of wire it back together, and you just get going.
It's just like an old car.
It was cool seeing the little technicians too.
Yeah.
We're making connections to the sequels in the best ways that we can because we don't want them to be useless.
Yeah.
You notice that we're starting to do that now. It's like, what things can we take that Rian Johnson
Dave Filoni is just like, how can I fix this shit?
How can I spoon feed?
Yeah.
Well,
I also say,
what's that?
I also say Pedro Pascal is doing a great job in television right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, he's killing it right now.
I mean, not only did he have Game of Thrones back in the day.
I know he's doing The Last of Us and The Mandalorian.
Yeah,
we're very far behind on The Last of Us because this one can't watch them at night.
Oh,
dude, come on.
He gets nightmares. Do we have to watch them during the day?
That's funny.
It is
The
funny.
zombies are coming.
That's why you didn't play the game at night.
Yeah.
You probably didn't play the game, did you?
So then when the power goes out, you get really scared.
What? What? That's mean.
Guy, come on now.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to see Scream next week. So
That's true. That's true. Yeah,
I tease.
I haven't watched The Last of Us yet, but I've heard a lot great things about it though.
It's really great video game adaptation.
That's why I'm kind of holding off, because I'm like, video game adaptations don't really do too well.
This one's like by far one of the best ones I've seen.
Yeah, several years ago, I watched a friend's edit of The Last of Us into like a 3 or 4 hour long film.
Yeah.
And we watched that together like while I was in college. And it was beautiful. Like the storytelling was beautiful. It was immaculate. The TV show, I mean, I know this is like a sidebar. The TV show is just the same. So the story.
How far are you in?
I just watched the Bill and Frank episode.
I watched that one.
Oh my god, killed me.
So good.
There's a lot more you're gonna cry. That's all I'm gonna say.
Is that episode 3?
4, I think.
Yes.
4?
4.
Okay.
3 or 4.
I know one of the episodes got the people mad that it was because there was gay people in there, but
oh yeah, that's probably the one. Yeah.
Just because there's an apocalypse, gay people are still gonna be around.
Well, he was also. They were also a gay couple in the video game too, so
I know.
they just wanted to expand on it.
Which was what? 2014?
Let me do my research.
13, 14?
Last of Us.
I think it's
video game.
I think it was 2013.
2013.
Okay, yeah.
2013.
So
that was when we became a little bit more acceptable.
Yeah, and then they just elaborated on that. Anyway. Sure. Before we get off of The Mandalorian,
I mean, this is how Brick City usually is.
No, I know. But there's probably something after, and I don't want it to get away from me. Did you guys get ads when you watched it?
Watched what? The
Mandalorian.
Disney Plus?
No.
Oh my god.
So
we got ads.
I was about to say, Robin, you're still on my Disney Plus.
So I am not on your Disney Plus anymore.
Then why do you still have a profile on my Disney
Get
Plus?
rid of it then. We don't need it.
You put a password on
it. Maybe you should put it back. Maybe you should have them back so you not have the ads.
Yeah, you can come back onto mine.
But this was a discovery moment because I have the Hulu Plus, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus package. What they're doing now is that if you have that package, you have ads.
On everything.
On everything.
Well, especially Hulu does have a lot of ads.
Yeah.
So now,
Hulu's always had ads. Disney Plus has never had ads before.
Yep. So then
they recently up the price of Disney Plus too.
Yeah.
So we had ads. It was like 4 or 5 ad blocks of 30 seconds the episode.
Yeah, it was rough.
Jesus. You sure you don't want to come back onto my Disney Plus?
I have some hot takes.
Okay.
Talk about it in a minute.
It was the first Mandalorian episode that we'd seen that had ads in it, and it like really took you out of it. Like it. Like
there was basically
it's like all the suspense and then like a Verizon ad.
It was like the IG-11 scene with the Terminator, then Whopper Junior.
Wait, I got this. As I keep going, because I have something funny to tell you. I got this most random ad on YouTube, but go ahead.
Yeah, now I'm curious, but yes.
Well, no, I want to know.
No, Shaylin wants to know.
What's your random?
The most random. It was on YouTube. It was literally a teddy bear of Joe Biden. It was called the Bitey Bear. I'm dead serious.
Do you, by any chance, use an ad blocker or something?
I do.
Or trackers.
Do the research on the Bitey Bear. Let's see this thing. I gotta see this thing.
what are you searching that is in your ads?
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
What is your search history that's targeted towards you?
I looked up fluffy president last night.
Good God.
The bitey bear. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Robin, I'm gonna need that pin so I can fix that profile that you're not on anymore.
It's not. No, I'm just not gonna say it over the live stream.
I mean, unless you want a free profile that you don't have to have.
Does Tony want a free profile?
No, he has his own.
I love the laugh, and then no, he's got his own.
Okay, so I was kind of hoping that you guys got the ads too, because we thought that it was going to be. You said something about the Mandalorian episode.
No, it's just me being an asshole.
I thought you said something about the Mandalorian episode specifically having ads.
No.
Okay, cool. So what I was gonna say is like originally I was pissed, but at the same time it's like it's like you pay for it already.
Yeah.
Why do you need ads as well, or to pay to get rid of the ads? And then I remembered, this is like a hot take that doesn't land. Oh my God.
Oh no.
I don't know why I got it, but it was fucking hell. It just threw me out of the loop when I was watching a video.
Now you know what you need to do, right?
Now you know what you gotta do.
You gotta buy the bitey bear.
Yeah, you need one.
Now we can review it on the podcast.
See, we'll sit right there with me. Representative vote. Do you have something to say? Hi guys, it's me, Bitey Bear. Is Shayla's just walking off? She's like, I'm done.
But yeah, if you go up to like $10 a month on Disney Plus, you don't get ads.
Oh, okay. Well, what does that say? Y'all get the Steelbook of Chainsaw Massacre, Texas?
Yeah, they did a 4K release of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I got it. This wuss definitely did not.
No.
Sean has like 400 copies. He's got to build a fort.
He's got a fort of bitey bears happening in the background.
But back to Mandalorian.
Yes.
Oh
my goodness. Yeah.
We just talked about IG Terminator.
IG Terminator. Yeah.
I love the Bo-Katan scene though.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just love.
I have a lot of theories.
You have theories?
Yeah. Actually, my friend and I from high school was talking about it, and he thinks that Book of Boba Fett was to show where Boba Fett's going to end up, and that's going to be on the throne of Mandalore.
Whoa.
Do you think Boba Fett's going to come into play this season 3?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because Bo-Katan's people essentially killed his ancestors, essentially.
Very true.
And there's that bad blood because he was a foundling. And then the Death Watch happened.
Imagine if we walked out of season 3 of The Mandalorian with Boba Fett with holding the Darksaber.
That's the thing. This season's ending on a cliffhanger.
God damn.
And then it's going to lead into Ahsoka. And then Ahsoka's going to lead into season 4. Because Bo-Katan is going to try and kill. Din and Bo-Katan are going to fight. She's going to win. Get the Darksaber. And as she goes to kill Din, we see a green lightsaber.
Oh, wow.
Not Luke's green lightsaber, though. Ezra's. And then it leads into Ahsoka.
That would be dope. Are you kidding me? Andrew, if you
are
right, you are
either Ezra or
I'm not putting money on it.
Either that or it's going to be Sabine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Because, I'm sorry, Bo-Katan, she's not sitting this out.
No. I don't think that would be.
She was a terrorist.
Well, she was sitting just out in the first episode.
Sean, oh my goodness.
Sorry.
Just gonna
All right, goodbye. All right.
Oh no,
Sean, come back.
Oh my
Besides the first episode, she's one, a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Two, she's power hungry. She's wanted that throne since the Clone Wars, since she was basically 16 years old. Or 18. I don't know how old she was.
I watched Star Wars Explained. Not Matt Damon.
I thought you were going to say Star Wars.
Matt Damon's got his own podcast now. Alex Damon, who we've had on the podcast before, and he actually said something I found very funny, and I didn't even think about it. How Bo-Katan basically looks at Din, and it's like, you and your stupid religion about helmets, but hey, check out my magical sword that we all believe in. And
yeah,
it's like it really is factions of Mandalore and different beliefs within it, and there's no right way. That's why Mandalore over its history, going all the way back to Mandalore the Ultimate, was always basically carpet bombed by the Empire or the Sith Empire, was because there was so much infighting happening on Mandalore that they basically allowed. And Duchess Satine was the only one that actually brought some balance to Mandalore at any point.
Yep.
And then, of course, Darth Maul shows up, right?
Yes.
So, there's that.
So my friend Justin also has another theory about the armorer.
Yeah.
If it's not Bo, it's going to be the armorer that goes after Din. And he thinks that the armorer is Rook.
Is Rook really?
Yeah, because of the horns on the helmet.
Oh, wow! I got to have your friend on.
Yeah,
He's got some good theories. I didn't even think about that. Wow, huh? So, do you think I don't think next episode we're going to go to Mandalore. I think we're going to
we're not going to Mandalore until like the last
Midway.
3 episodes.
Yeah.
Actually, hold on. When's Dave Filoni writing?
I think we're probably going to Coruscant. We're gonna get the political stuff next week.
I want Coruscant back.
Well, I know, and we're talking about New Republic now, right? So
I mean, we got Coruscant and Bad Batch, which was really cool.
Really?
Oh yeah, we did. So Dave Filoni is writing episodes 4 and 7 with Jon Favreau.
Okay, so that's where we're gonna start getting some of the heavy lore-based stuff.
Oh, absolutely. If you're gonna get into the lore stuff, you have Dave Filoni write it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, I was just thinking too, like, is it Coruscant or is it Hosnian Prime because it's the New Republic? Because Hosnian Prime is just like Coruscant.
That's the thing.
I mean, it'd be cool if it was Coruscant.
I think Dave Filoni will go more towards Coruscant and stay away from Hosnian Prime because of the sequel trilogy. Eventually, they probably relocate to the other planet, but I think to reestablish the New Republic, they use. Well, actually, no, they might not use Coruscant because of Palpatine and that bad, like, image, maybe, because he used the Imperial Senate, or sorry, the Jedi Temple as the Imperial Senate when he was in power. So there's so much that they could do that we have no idea what they're going to do.
No idea.
And I like that.
Yeah, last season we kind of had an idea of what might happen. We
had no idea Luke was going to show up.
No. I mean, who else is coming to get Grogu? I mean,
Mace Windu.
Oh my goodness, those.
Have you said Bruce Willis?
That's what Star Wars Theory said. He thought Bruce Willis was going to show up.
Star Wars Theory is stupid.
Stupid.
You heard it here.
Live and in
we said it before.
I know it's not news from us.
No. I mean, people were like, "Oh, it's gonna be Ezra. It's gonna be this guy. It's gonna be Joe Mama."
Joe Mama.
But I am glad that they went with, of course, Luke. They could have gone with any Jedi. They could have gone with Cal Kestis because Fallen Order had just come out.
Well, wasn't that the joke that Dave Filoni played on Rosario Dawson with Flo Koon, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And then she saw that it was Luke, and she's like, "God damn it!"
But it made it even better because, of course, Luke and Anakin and all that.
Yeah.
And I think I talked about it with you guys. Dave Filoni has not only worked with Anakin Skywalker, he also got to work with Luke.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's going to be able to work with Anakin again with Ahsoka.
He has just, you know, I know Kathleen has kind of worked her way into. I know it's a side tangent, but
we've had a lot of that.
Yeah, we did.
You know, everything going forward too. At what point does now that Bob Iger's back for the time being, does he just say, "Listen, Kathleen, come work for me as Disney as a whole, right? And let's let Dave move into the Lucasfilm head position and let Jon Favreau handle what Dave's doing in the storytelling department."
That way, Dave can oversee everything and make sure it connects.
Yes.
So, anything Dave Filoni has touched at Lucasfilm has been pure gold.
Not according to some fans, anyway.
Oh my goodness, I know. I hear
because you know they changed the ending of the Ahsoka episode and chose the Jedi, so Dave Filoni sucks.
I don't get it.
That ending was gold.
It was badass.
It was fantastic.
Like, yeah, he changed it from how it is in the book, but it's a lot better in the show than it was in the book, in my opinion.
It is. It is.
And fuck, the stuff with Dooku, you're saying that stuff is terrible?
It was like one of the best writing, like
we know now
I've seen
what happened to Yaddle and why Dooku was so confident he could probably kill Yoda in Attack of the Clones.
Was that right there, right?
Yeah. And it showed why Dooku became a Sith.
There's a shout out to Bryce Dallas Howard for voicing Yaddle.
Yeah, that's
it. She did get a great job on it.
And can we just talk about how Yoda's basically just an asshole and with how he talks?
Yes.
Yeah, he's basically just being an asshole. You're right.
Yeah, so Gogo's gonna talk normal when he goes up.
Unless he dies.
Oh fuck.
Sure. Put that thought in his head, Andrew.
I'm sorry. Look, we got Anakin murking the Jedi Temple and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
And not only was it just like a swing at a child, he did like a big boy swing.
I never thought I'd hear those words on a podcast. Not only did he swing at a child.
Well, not that way.
Big boy swing? Is that what you...
Yes, a big boy swing. Like, you know, it's not like just a kind of swing. It's like
lightsaber with one of those wiffle ball bats and just
he wound up that wiffle ball bat.
Just add the audio of the
sound of a
big kid
now.
Which honestly, we should just do an episode dedicated to Obi-Wan because I need to talk about Obi-Wan with you guys. We did the first 3 episodes, Robin, but we hadn't done the other ones like we said we were going.
No, I know. That's just it. I think we should probably just all go back, rewatch through Obi-Wan again, and then just kind of have that big discussion about, you know, what happened in the series because
Obi-Wan is honestly, besides Mandalorian, probably my favorite.
Can we also do Andor too?
Show. Yeah, I need to fully watch Andor. We should just do like Obi-Wan and Andor as episodes.
Yeah, that'd be cool. It's like a
you heard it here live. We're doing it
live action recap. Yeah, exactly. Do like a live action recap. I love it. So
let's not take another 6 months off, please.
Yeah.
I know, right? So that's not happening. So Mandalorian, the Purgles connection, and I've watched a couple different YouTube videos. They're like, that's the tease at Ahsoka, right?
Yep.
That's exactly what it is. So,
or it's a tease for Thrawn too.
Well, let's talk about that, right? Because
especially because Shayla's not in the room right now.
So she's on the couch resting. She's
okay.
She's
tired.
She's tired.
Nighty night.
So I mean,
yeah, I freaked out when I saw the space whales.
Yeah. I mean, it's an immediate cue into okay, where's Ezra and Thrawn?
Yeah, I'm like, Dave Filoni's like straight up being like, here you go.
No, you can't do that to us in the middle of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Mandalorian.
After the first like 15 minutes, like what the hell, Dave?
I'm gonna edit the meme from what is it? The "Take My Money" meme. It's going to be Dave Filoni's face with a bunch of Purgles coming out of his
hands. But it's like we're getting close to not only a live action.
We're getting close to answers. That's right.
That's
yeah. See, yeah,
where they went and what's. One, getting a live action Ahsoka. We got Ahsoka. Mm-hmm. Ezra, we're getting live action now. Sabine, and fucking Thrawn.
Yeah. I know.
Robin, you're a huge Thrawn fan.
Yes, I am.
Growing up, did you ever once think we would see Thrawn in live action?
So, growing up, reading the Legends novels, and reading, I mean, I fell in love with the whole Chiss legacy and Myth Narado and just his rise to power under Palpatine. Palpatine did not want any.
Palpatine was very racist,
extremely racist. And he wanted no aliens.
Like Trump. I mean, what?
Would you trust Trump or Palpatine?
Oh, neither.
Fuck.
Neither.
That's the thing. Palpatine might make me think I can trust him.
He does a better job.
Yes.
Yeah.
He does a way better job. I think number one, we're gonna freak out when we see him in live action. I think
absolutely. Are they going to use the music from Rebels when they show them?
I think they
have to. Because that music alone is
who is going to be playing Thrawn? That is the one thing we don't know
I'm
yet.
pretty sure it's going to be Lars Mikkelsen.
You think it's going to be Lars?
I think so.
He's going to do the voiceover and the live action and all of it.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's kind of like how Bo-Katan was oh my goodness, I can't believe I can't remember her name. But she also did the voice of Bo-Katan.
Oh, Katie Sackhoff.
She did the voice and is now doing. So they're trying to follow that lineage of.
Yeah, not to switch from Star Wars to DC, but what they're doing over there's an animated series that they're doing. I forget what it's called, but the voice actors they're getting for that are going to transition into live action stuff as well.
That's what makes the most sense. I could see Lars Mikkelsen playing the role. And I think it's going to be one of those moments very much. I'm going to say it. I think that Thrawn has the potential when we finally see him in live action.
I have a fear of what's going to happen when we see him.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think we are going to see him in this season.
Really?
He's going to have Moff Gideon broken out of jail, brought to him, thinking everything's all hunky-dory, and Thrawn's going to kill Moff Gideon with his bare hands.
Oh, wow. And that's
money on that?
We get Ahsoka towards the end, and then we also see
Thrawn.
And
no, I'm not putting money on it. It's just there has to be a way of how Moff Gideon, one, got a Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
And two, he has to be getting orders from someone. And wasn't I forget the character's name, but in season 2, the episode with Ahsoka, wasn't she a Moff?
Oh, the one that Ahsoka was fighting against.
Yeah, wasn't she a Moff?
She originally was, yes.
So
that's why she went to her and went after her for the information, was because she either worked under Thrawn or she served with Thrawn or went to the academy with Thrawn.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking.
So Moff Gideon obviously knows Thrawn in some form. So, and Thrawn's so smart, he would put Moff Gideon at that disadvantage to think, oh, I'm safe. Thrawn helped break me out. I'm going to be put right back into power. And then
that would be what Thrawn had learned from Palpatine, was get an apprentice, get somebody who will do the dirty work for you, teach them the way. Because Moff Gideon is very knowledgeable, right? He knows about the Darksaber. He knows how to manipulate situations.
I still want to know how Moff
her name was Morgan Elsbeth.
Okay.
What
was her title, if it says? Was it like magistrate or something like that?
Yeah, she was a magistrate.
So either way, she had a rank where Thrawn was doing stuff.
Whatever it is, it's gonna blow our minds. Yeah. It just finally getting something from animated to live action. It's something that Steven Stanton had talked about a while ago on the podcast. Mm-hmm. And he was like, it's the one transition we have not had yet in Star Wars officially, right? We had Ahsoka from animated to live action through The Mandalorian, right? Yeah. That was our first taste of it. Now Dave Filoni is saying, guess what? Remember when I told you I'm putting the Rebels characters on a shelf? Well, I'm taking them off the shelf now.
Yeah.
Look at Cad Bane.
Cad Bane.
Stand corrected. Cad Bane is another great example. Yes.
I freaked out when I saw Cad Bane. I'm sorry.
She freaked out too.
Like when I saw the hat and the trench coat, I'm like, that's fucking Cad Bane.
And then the eyes as these lifted. Oh
yeah. And that was straight out of like a
Western Hera soon in the Ahsoka series.
What's that?
Are we getting Hera in the Ahsoka series?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
It would make sense because she would still probably be a part of the Republic.
I mean, the ghost shows up in Rise of Skywalker at the end, right? That was one of the
ships. But Hera's probably dead by then.
Wait, we also heard her voice in did we hear her voice in? Or was it mentioned?
I think it was mentioned.
Where?
I don't remember.
I know she was in the game Squadrons.
Maybe that's what I was thinking of.
But yeah, I think we'd see her. She's not going to be in Bando, but she'll definitely be in Ahsoka.
No, yeah, she was mentioned in Rogue One. Remember she over?
Oh yeah.
That's right. Yes.
General Syndulla or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Chopper was there.
So yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
So we got pirates.
That was straight up Davy Jones, the pirate.
Yeah.
It was.
But I'm mentioning it because who's the famous pirate that we have in Star Wars?
Cad Bane.
That is best friends with a certain clone general.
Oh, shoot.
What are the odds we get a fucking live action Hondo?
They've already done it at the parks, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
they can easily do it because those pirates were the same race that he is.
Dave Filoni's not going to hold anything back, is he?
Oh, no.
No.
He's going to give us Hondo Ohnaka, isn't he?
Especially with Ezra coming in.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? This is the tie-in to Ahsoka, right? This is the tie-in to... Wow.
See, this is when I love Star Wars, is when I get excited about it.
and this is why the first episode to everybody seems kind of like, oh, okay, so we're just reintroducing it, because episodes 4, 5, 6, and everything else are just gonna blow through and be like, whoa,
yeah,
hold on, that's what's gonna end up happening. How much of this season of Mandalorian is going to feel like when Book of Boba Fett had the Mandalorian stuff? Are we going to see the opposite happen? Where we're going to get a little bit of Ahsoka within.
I think the last 3 episodes would do that.
Yeah. I'm starting to feel that too.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense because the shows are supposed to connect. Because Rangers of the New Republic was supposed to do that, but,
Right. Another thing, yeah.
The actress was kind of stupid, and yeah.
I know that's the problem with it.
But, why am I blanking on his name? Grief. He could be in her place for Rangers of the New Republic.
He could be.
I think he eventually joins the New Republic and becomes a general and stuff like that.
So he leaves Navarro in his role?
I think so.
Who would take over Navarro then?
I mean, Din could always be like, I don't want this shit, and throws Darksaber down and
goes back to Navarro because he's been offered it so many different times.
Yeah.
I would like to see him go back to the planet where,
because the Mandalorian could be any Mandalorian we follow.
That's true. IG-11 comes back and IG-11 becomes the
Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian this entire time.
No. Grogu becomes the Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Look at that.
Before we transition to Ahsoka, when do you think we're going to get that Order 66 flashback with Grogu?
Oh.
Because we saw it in the trailer, and it was more clear. And again, we have Hayden Christensen back. We're going to see Darth Vader again.
We're going to see probably Ahsoka in that flashback.
Yeah.
Because it's going to lead up to it. Because we really haven't seen her. I mean,
we might not see her in that flashback because it's at the temple.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
But if you remember, in Revenge of the Sith, we got a text.
Yes, that's on me. Sorry.
I
got it.
But if you remember in Revenge of the Sith, there's a security hologram of Darth Vader killing those Jedi. And if you actually slow it down, he grabs a woman by the throat and just keeps fighting. I think we're going to actually see that fight in that vision. Because
one of the I can't watch this anymore.
One of the Jedi tunics reminded me of Jedi Sundralig from the Revenge of the Sith game, who was the lightsaber trainer. So
I think we're gonna see Captain Rex.
I think there's possibility. I think that's why they had that clone in Obi-Wan Kenobi to kind of give a little bit of that tease, because it was a 501st clone, and
because I feel like the Bad Batch is gonna kind of mentioned. I don't know. I would love to see more of the deserted clones. Live action? Yeah,
me too. Rex, you'll probably see in Ahsoka.
Yeah, for sure.
Most likely. Who's playing Rex though?
It'll probably be Tamara Morrison.
They'll get him to play Rex too. Yeah.
We might as well. You have him.
It's true. He'd actually make a really good Rex too.
Yeah. He's already bald. Just do it.
Well, it's like from Obi-Wan, right? When he played the clone on the street. No different than that, really.
Exactly.
No. So, yeah.
And not to go back to Obi-Wan Kenobi, but my friend Justin was in the military and stuff like that, and he said he likes that they're putting stuff in there with military like that, because that's how they're treated when they're when they come back and stuff like that. So
yeah, I noticed that. That was kind of
which he's actually starting a metal band called Mandalore, and it's death metal. It is awesome.
Ooh. That's awesome.
So there's your plug, Justin. But let's talk about Ahsoka, because I have so much I want to talk about with Ahsoka.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, one, we're getting the world between worlds.
Yeah.
Tell what if scenarios. I think I texted it to the group chat.
Yeah.
They are having a what if fight if Ahsoka went to Mustafar instead of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oof.
They're having a fight. And I'm sorry, as much as I love Ahsoka, she's not making out of there alive.
No.
Because
absolutely not.
There is nothing stopping Anakin at that point. Or sorry, Darth Vader at that point. And if he taught Ahsoka everything he knows, so he obviously already has that one-up advantage against her. That's why Obi-Wan was able to last against Anakin, because he taught him everything he knew, and he was in defense the entire fight.
Mm-hmm.
And we know about that what if scenario, but we don't know about the other ones. What do you think the other scenarios might be?
For me personally, I would like to see Barriss Offee, please. Again, because her and
like a what if she never
yeah, because their relationship was too strong to not.
I mean,
to tell more about it.
Like, Disney didn't cancel Clone Wars, we probably would have gotten that, but you know.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I mean, I'm trying to think about, because when we think about the world between worlds, we think about crucial moments, right? So, I mean, do we see a live action version of when Kanan dies?
Ooh. Will they get Freddie Prinze Jr. to do?
Imagine that. In that scene where he's reaching out in his eyes, he can actually see.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
It would be cool. Or they just recast him with Sam Witwer.
Can Sarah Michelle Gellar just be Hera then?
I mean,
she could. No, she'd have to be the seventh sister.
Oh,
because that's who she voiced in Rebels.
I forgot, but yeah.
And then Sam Witwer tweeted, "To all vampires, we got her."
Do we see the Luke and Vader fight on the Death Star?
I think they could pull from the old Legends comic, which I actually got my brother the Black Series figure for Christmas, the all white Darth Vader.
Oh,
where he goes back to the light side in Return of the Jedi.
Oh,
and he gets the all white suit. I think it would be cool if they did a live action version of that, like Vader went with Luke and went back to the light side.
Oh, that would be cool.
Because in that, Palpatine escapes, and it's like we don't know where he went, and we don't know like where he could have gone. And then through the door, you see Darth Vader in all white, being like, "I know where he went."
That'd be sick.
Let me see if I can find the.
That would be cool. So you're saying that there's a chance here with the Ahsoka series that we could be playing with the world between worlds in all kinds of different ways.
Absolutely.
Like it's probably the one thing that Filoni created in Star Wars Rebels that like really, it could drive an entire series, like at least the beginning of the series too.
Here's the panel.
Oh,
wow.
Luke's looking a little baked right there, but that's okay.
Hey yo, daddy yo.
It looks like he aged too badly.
Just a little bit.
He's a little. He looks a little bit like.
Just think of how cool this would be, though. Like,
you know what it looks like he's saying in that scene?
What?
Like, wow, it's my father.
Wow. But yeah, that would just be a cool scene to see in live action.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
They probably won't be doing that, but
I think there's so much they could do. If we saw what happened with Ezra with the World Between Worlds, right?
Yeah.
Like he didn't understand what it was, and he let his emotions drive his decision making within the World Between Worlds. Where Ahsoka probably has been exploring the World Between Worlds since we last left her off, and is probably learned to control how much she wants to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, like you're saying, she's going to want to choose specific things,
like see if she could have turned Anakin back from the dark side,
right?
Stuff like that.
It'd be cool to see again, just like if Palpatine never got the chance to talk to Anakin at all.
Like if Palpatine and Anakin never met.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that would put the galaxy at a safer place.
As a whole, yeah, it would have. That absolutely would have. There's a lot of possibilities there. There's a whole bunch of possibilities. And do you think that they're going to do that early on? Like we're going to set the tone early on, like this is where we're playing in, or
that'll be episode 3. Because to stay on that trend, when did Darth Vader fully come in Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yeah, this is true.
Episode 3.
I really hope Ashley Eckstein makes an appearance.
Yeah, she probably won't. Because then they'll be like, oh, you got her there, but you can't have her as Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's a valid point. That is a valid point for sure.
Yeah. I'm so happy we're getting Ahsoka.
I know, as a Ahsoka fan and one fan,
I'm excited. And the fact that we're basically getting Rebels season 5 in the form of Ahsoka. But I think that basically covers everything that we wanted to discuss tonight.
Yeah. Looks like that time.
Hey, he didn't have his meeting, so we could have gone longer.
This is true.
But before we do plug time.
Oh God, plug time.
When do you think we'll get the Acolyte trailer? Do you think we'll actually get that celebration, or do you think they'll keep it D23?
Maybe the last day of celebration.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I'm going to say D23 just to be opposite of you.
Thanks, Sean.
You're welcome. Love you too.
I think to let Ahsoka breathe, I think they'll keep it with D23 just to play it safe. Either way, I'm very curious on Acolyte, which we can discuss theories on that next time we get together and stuff.
I think that's definitely a big topic, especially as we head closer and closer to celebration. Do we get more headlines? Do we get more maybe behind the scenes pictures? Things like that.
I mean, we did get the set pictures, which
we
made me really excited for it because one, we get actual Jedi robes and not and we got a Wookiee Jedi. Not just a Padawan Wookiee Jedi, but a full-grown Wookiee Jedi. I forget his name. I'm pretty sure I know who it is. I just don't remember his name right now. Yes, that.
There it is. Exactly.
But, Robin.
Fuzzball.
What time is it?
It's plug time.
So
wait a minute.
So for those who don't know, why am I taking this over? Robin, you're the leader of Brick City Blockade.
Oh, yeah, it's my turn. So anyway, it's that time of the show that everybody knows, everybody loves. We have a t-shirt that says it on it that absolutely buys except
mail time.
It's what?
Mail time.
Oh, you said trail time.
Back. Oh, well,
yes, that's
you get copyright for that. Don't want to do that.
Here's the mail. It never fails.
Hey, look at
wag
you.
My tail.
You're a poet and you didn't even know it.
When it comes, I want a whale.
Okay.
All right, Gail, stop it.
Get it? Whale, space whale.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you did there. Anyway, plug time. Mr. Sean Michaud, where can good people find you on social media?
Oh, you guys could follow me on Twitter. Sean Michaud on Ivan as well. Instagram, it's Zone Z. I think that's my username. I don't.
Yes, that's your username.
Is it okay? Yeah. What else? Facebook. I don't use Facebook.
No, you don't.
I only use Facebook Messenger during.
That's it. Go and find me. Look me up on Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
You'll end up in my spam box, but it's okay.
Spam box.
I ever since hitting 1K, I keep getting so many spam messages.
Speaking of 1K, Mr. Commander Nerd, Mr. Andrew Garrish, where can the good people find you on social?
Well, you can find me here on YouTube at Commander Nerd, which actually tomorrow I'm doing another live stream over on Tony's channel. We're doing a live watch along of Scream 5 leading up to the newest Scream coming out.
Scream.
And then next Saturday we're doing an FYE trip because FYEs around here aren't exactly that great anymore.
They're called For Your Eggs now.
Yes.
For Your Eggs.
Thank you for stopping by, Laren. Always great having you.
Have a good night, Laren.
Night, Laren.
See, at least you guys didn't pull a Dave and called him Lauren.
How is that Lauren?
This is not Lawrence Mass.
But yeah, you can find me on YouTube at Commander Nerd, Twitter at Commander Nerd. I finally switched that over. Instagram, Andrew62592. Be on the lookout for maybe a crossover with Brick City Blockade and the Steelbook crew coming up.
Ooh, I would love that. I would love to get my hands on some steel.
I mean, they have Star Wars Steelbooks coming out this May.
Steel.
Anyway. Hey, watch the comments over there. This podcast is brought to you by Colored Chocolate Candies. No, I'm just kidding.
Did you notice they had M&Ms in the episode?
Sponsored.
It was, yeah.
Brick City Blockade, sponsored by Brick City Blockade. This isn't a mukbang channel.
iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher.
Yeah, we can't be a mukbang channel. We don't have big boobs and we're not women.
Well,
although the jury's still out about you, Robin.
Jury is still out on me. This is very true.
I do have two.
That's inappropriate, Shaylin. You guys can follow me over on Twitter. Andrew knows what just happened. You guys can follow me over on Twitter at It's VGT. It's my new one. You guys, stop it! You guys can also follow me over on Instagram.
Guys, stop. She's talking.
At VGT. At It's VGT. And you guys can also make sure to like the Brick City Blockade podcast on Facebook. Please, I'm saying this to everybody out there. Make sure to subscribe to Commander Nerd here on YouTube and across all the platforms because Andrew is absolutely killing it right now. and we're so lucky to have him on the podcast. So,
well, thank you for that. Your boy Robin might be a woman.
Anyway,
thank you for tuning in, and as we always say, may the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
Always.
Never.